Hey everybody, it's Anna. Welcome back to my art channel, and today I'm going to show you how I seal my painted vases. So some people seal their vases with resin. I don't use resin for a number of reasons, but there are still ways that you can make a nice durable vase finish without resin. So here's how I do it. So here's the vase. Isn't this beautiful? This is kind of a lilac inspired spring vase that I made. So it's been about 2 weeks since I've poured it, and the paint is dry and cured. So as you can see, there's still the drips up here along the top edge. So the first thing that we need to do is take a razor blade, and you just slide the razor blade along the top edge of the vase, just to trim off those drips. Now maybe you think the drips look cool, so if you want to leave them, go right ahead, but I prefer a cleaner look. And then just go back with the razor blade and neaten up any bits that you didn't get quite right. The paint just peels right off of the glass. All right, look at that. See? Nice and neat. So then the next step is to take the vase and put it back upside down like this and seal it. So I use Rustoleum clear gloss spray. That's the one that I like to use. It's nice and durable. I'm sure there are plenty of other durable clear sprays, but this one is inexpensive and I've had good results with it. So I usually give it 2 coats of that, and that makes it nice and glossy, and I'll show you that step in a second. And then the final thing, this is my secret touch, is to take a clear plastic circle and glue it onto the bottom of the vase. Because sometimes if you've got a nice thick coat of paint and then it's varnished, the paint, it's like it stays somewhat soft even when it's cured, and if you have it up against a really smooth surface, like a plastic tablecloth or a desk or something, sometimes it can kind of stick and not, it's not sticky, but sometimes it will kind of stick to the surface, and I don't like that. So I take a clear plastic circle and I glue it onto the base after it's all sprayed, and I will show you that step too. But of course, first we have to spray it, so we'll go to that next. Alright, so the next step is spray finishing the vase. So I've got my Rustoleum clear gloss spray, and I'm going to follow the directions on the back of the can, which say to use between 50 and 90 degrees Fahrenheit, and when the humidity is below 65%. So take a look at your weather and try to stay within those parameters for the best results. I'm also spraying outside in my garage so that the fumes don't get in my house. But yeah, following the directions here, so start by shaking it up really well. Alright, so now we need to spray this onto the sides and the bottom of the vase. So you want to keep the can mostly upright as much as possible, about 8 to 10 inches away, and make sure to get this area at the bottom, especially if you've got a curved vase. This area right here can sometimes get missed. So I'm going to start here and go all the way around. Alright, so there's the first coat. So now I'm going to let this dry for about an hour before I put on the next coat. You could probably put the second coat on a little bit faster if you had to, but giving it an hour is good. and then I'll be back to show you the second coat. All right, it's time for coat number 2. I've waited about an hour. I've already shaken up my can, so let's go ahead and put on the second coat. All right, that's looking good. So I'm going to let this dry for several hours until it is dry to the touch before I move it. And then I'm going to let it cure for 5 to 7 days to get a full total curing of that coating. And then I will show you how I glue the plastic circle on the bottom. So let's go to that next. All right, the vase is all dry. The varnish has been drying for about a week now. 5 to 7 days is the time that you need to achieve maximum durability from that spray coating. So this is the point where now I'm going to glue the plastic onto the bottom of the vase. So I have my little plastic circle here. It's got a protective layer on either side to keep it from getting scratched or dirty before you use it. So go ahead and take off one side. And then I use clear Gorilla Glue to glue it onto the base. And then you'll need something heavy. This is what I'm using today. Something heavy that can fit on top of the circle to sort of press it down and hold it in place. Because this is a small circle, this is only a 2.5-inch circle. Instead of my typical 3-inch circle, I need something small. So I just have a bottle of bubbles. Okay, so take your Gorilla Glue and you want to put some right here in the middle of the bottom. And then I'm just going to spread it out a bit. Okay, if you have way too much glue, it's all going to squirt out the edge. But if you don't have enough, then it's not going to provide a full seal. So try to find a balance between the two. So now, take your plastic circle and just dampen the side that you peeled off with just a damp paper towel. And then press it down on top of the glue. You want to get that glue extended all the way out to the edge of your plastic disc, and as much as possible to get the air bubbles out of the glue. So press pretty hard. Alright, so I had more glue on there than I needed, and it is squeezing out the side a little bit. You probably can't see that. So take a dry paper towel and wipe that up. A wet paper towel will make it stickier, but a dry paper towel will get it up pretty well if you catch it quick. So just go around and wipe up all the edges where extra glue is squirting out. Okay, I think I've pretty much got it cleaned up. Just do a wipe all around to make sure that it's clean. All right, and then center your plastic disc in the bottom of the vase and take your heavy thing and set it on top. This will just help create a little bit more pressure. This bottle of bubbles is not as heavy as would be ideal, but it's enough that it's going to help hold down that disc and keep it in place. All right, so this glue, because it's such a large layer of glue, it's going to take a good 3 or 4 hours before it sets up to be semi-firm. So I like to leave the weight on the top for a lot longer than that, at least 8 hours, maybe overnight, maybe 24 hours. But you can take that heavy thing off the top the next day and And then at that point you can remove the last film off of the plastic circle, and you've got a finished base. So I will show you how that looks when it is done. All right, there it is. Look how nice that bottom looks. Great seal. And that's how you attach the plastic disc. All right, so that is how you finish a vase in a nice durable way without needing to use resin and without your vase sticking to whatever surface it lands on. Thanks so much for watching this tutorial. Be sure to head over to my channel and watch some of my other painting videos and tip tutorials, and I'll see you for the next one. Bye!